Jason Moloney, just under a month ago until you returned to the ring. You've just finished an intense training session. How excited are you for fight night?
Yeah, really, really excited, mate. It's been a long wait, but I haven't been waiting around, just waiting for the call, getting out of shape. I've been working extremely hard. That last fight was a real disappointment for me and a bad performance on my end, so been really hungry to keep leveling up and getting better, and hungry for another shot to redeem myself. And this is the opportunity, a second chance to head back to Japan and put on a great fight and get myself right back in title contention and back at the top where I want to be.
Now, you will be fighting Japanese superstar Tenshin Nasukawa in Japan. He's a former kickboxing star. He's just transitioned into boxing. Is it hard to study for an opponent who's only had such limited amount of boxing fights?
Yeah, it is, mate. You know, I didn't follow his kickboxing career, but he was obviously a superstar over there, and he's got a lot of hype around him since the transition of boxing. And look, he's performed well in his first 5 fights, but obviously hasn't faced top-level opposition yet, being that he's on his way up. But got to respect a guy that'll take on a former world champion in his 6th fight. So I'm preparing myself for a really, really hard fight. There's obviously a lot of hype around him, and for them to put him in against me in his 6th fight, they obviously believe in him and think he's the real deal. So I'm preparing for this fight better than I've ever prepared for any fight. I'm always the true professional that turns up every day, eager to get better, and I've invested a lot into this camp and brought in the right sparring and doing everything right to make sure that I get the win and get myself right back in the mix.
Yeah, well, I seen you went over to Japan, I think, late last year, getting some work in with Semi Goodman in the back end as well. Talk to us, how has your training camp been so far?
Yeah, that's right. So obviously I was, haven't fought since May, but as I said, I wasn't sitting around waiting, so any opportunity I can to get better, I'll jump at it. So I offered Seiya Satsumi the favour that I'd go over to Japan and help him prepare for his fight with Takuma Inoue, and went over there for 5 weeks and worked really hard with him and got some good rounds, and that experience was as valuable or more valuable than a fight. And then obviously we went over to, down to help Sammy Goodman prepare, because he was preparing for Inoue, so got a couple of weeks work with him and some really good rounds with him as well. And just constantly looking to get better and improve every way I can. So as I said, haven't been sitting around waiting. I've hit this training camp. The first day the fight was announced, I was ready to fight. I could have fought months ago, but now it's just an extra 3.5 weeks just to put the icing on the cake and really sharpen up.
Now, like we've just said, Tenshin's only had the 5 professional fights. You're a former world champion who's been on the world stage consistently for, say, the past 10 years. Do you think they've taken this fight too soon, stepping up too soon?
Yeah, well, that's my job to show that. As I said, I respect a guy who wants to take on a former world champion in his 6th fight, but it's my job to make sure that they've got this one wrong. And I think they have perhaps underestimated me a little bit, or perhaps just they think he is that good. But look, it was a bad performance against Takai, and I think they're basing me off that. They maybe think I'm on the slide or think that I can't deal with southpaws very well. But as I said, over the past 7 months, I've just been working so hard to get better and improve on every weakness I had, and I really feel like I'm a much better fighter now than I was 7 months ago. And people wouldn't believe that, given that I've just turned 34. People think I'm on the way down, but mate, I'm the true professional, and I'm like a fine wine. I feel like I'm getting better, and I'm in the best form of my career, and that's what it's about, going over there this time and getting it right and putting on the best performance of my career and reigniting the career and moving on to better things.
Now, this will be your 2nd straight fight in Japan. All the belts are now tied up over there. Are you trying to fight over there as much as possible, get your name out there?
Yeah, look, I've always wanted to jump at every opportunity I can. I'd love to fight in Australia more, definitely. But Japan, where it's at for a bantamweight, they've got the 4 belts over there, and they're doing big things with these shows with multiple world titles on the one show, and they're giving these younger fighters a platform. It's hard being a bantamweight at times. You don't get the recognition or the opportunities you deserve, but Japan are changing that for the lighter fellas, and it's great to be a part of. And I've got to get it right this time. They're not going to keep inviting me back if I don't perform. So I'm looking to go over there and put on a great fight, win, take out a big name, and I'll be happy to base myself over there for the next few fights or the next few years to come.
Yeah. Now, assuming you beat Nasukawa, what is the roadmap for the rest of the year?
Honestly, mate, I keep getting asked that, but I know it's a bit of a cliche thing, but I'm not looking past Tenshin at all. I really think this is a hard fight, even though he's only had 5 fights. This is a hard fight. This is a really good fighter, a sharp guy with quick hands, and you can't overlook him. He's obviously rated number 2 with the WBA, number 3 with the WBC, so a win over him will give me a world title shot, but full focus is just on Tenshin, and obviously the end goal is to become a 2-time world champion before the end of the year, but this is it, the first hurdle.